the alpha and omega of golf performance. In this video, I'm going to do a preliminary deep dive on the importance, the implications, and what you need to do to maximize your golf posture. If you do not know me already, my name is Terrence Thomas, and I help professional and high-level amateurs win more tournaments by eliminating their weaknesses on and off the course. I do this by helping them lock in their consistency, and this is how they lower their scores when it counts, and therefore win more tournaments and make more money. Now, let's talk about posture. This is the cornerstone of a powerful and consistent golf swing. Every aspect of your swing, from setup, takeaway, downswing, follow through, is influenced by how well you maintain your posture in all of those positions. Good posture promotes balance, stability, and efficiency, while poor posture can lead to inconsistency, reduced power, and a higher chance of getting injured. Now, to take it to the next level, I want you to think of posture not just positioning yourself correctly to swing the golf club. Yes, that is a part of what posture means and is as it relates to playing better golf. But this video and the subsequent videos that will be in this series will get into the weeds and the details about body posture and body mechanics. This type of posture supersedes the golf posture and positionings themselves. You see, some of the best players in the world have amazing golf posture, but when you look at their structure, some of them, if not many of them, have not so good baseline biomechanical integrity. Now, with that being said, the fact that these guys can still play at such a high level is indicative of how good they are. And imagine if they put a little bit more effort into maintaining, improving their base posture and biomechanics, how better they could be, or how consistent they could be. Because at that level, at the pro level, at the high level amateur level, sub PGA Pro, the supplementary tour level, everybody's good. Everybody's good. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. At that level, it's a game of millimeters, literally. So what is going to separate the guys who make some money versus the guys who make the big money and win the big tournaments and do it often is going to be how consistent they are. And this is where paying attention to this type of posture comes into play. This is the devil's in the details here. This is the PEDs. One of my monikers that I use within my system is called PEDs. These are not the PEDs in terms of performance enhancing drugs. The PEDs within the maximum golf performance system stands for performance enhancing decisions. These are the decisions that take you from mid earnings in the mid, scoring in the mid and placing in the mid of the group versus getting the double commas in your checks. These are the decisions right here. These are the real PEDs. So this is what we're going to be discussing here. As it relates to posture, we want to look at 4 areas. We will break them down. The first area is the head and neck, which is connected to head control. The next area is rib cage, and that is connected to shoulder turn. Third area, pelvis and lumbar spine or lower back, hips, hip coil. That's going to be your power through impact and where the majority of your power and club head speed is going to come from. And then finally, there's total body integration. Being able to maximize efficiency in posture in all of those areas. This is where the next level performance gains come from. So the first area is the head and neck. The position of your head and neck obviously sets the stage for balance and alignment. Just like in any other sport, wherever the head goes, the body goes, and how the head goes, the body performs. A neutral head position ensures that proper spinal alignment helps you maintain your center of gravity throughout the whole swing. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this head position. As a biomechanics specialist, as a kinesiologist, as an exercise physiologist, massage therapist, and manual therapist, the head is everything. Literally, if we're talking about your neck, which is your cervical spine, those first two vertebrae are literally the steering wheel for the entire body. There's certain assessments that I do with my clients that determine how that C1 and C2 area is aligned in terms of, are you tilting left? Are you tilting right? You can literally be shifting weight towards one side and being one side dominant just simply because that C1 and C2, or what we call the upper cervical spine, is not positioned properly. So when you also consider that 90+% of people have poor posture, particularly forward head posture, this is a foregone conclusion that most all people, including the pros, are playing with giant compensation patterns. This is how good these guys are. They're playing with existing compensation patterns. So the goal here is to eliminate as many of these compensation patterns. And this is the place to start for obvious reasons and for the reasons that I've just mentioned. Optimal head position is somewhere, in terms of forward head posture, is somewhere between 0 and 3 centimeters. Anything excess of 3 centimeters of forward head posture is going to start to put excessive load through the whole body. It's simple physics. For every inch that the head moves forward, you add 10 pounds of load through the entire system, particularly in the neck. It's like the difference between holding your arm out with the elbow bent versus holding it out straight. It's going to be heavier, obviously, because the lever arm is longer. The same thing with your head, except it weighs close to 10 pounds, 10% of your body. So imagine that load being compounded on your neck muscles, your shoulder muscles, and then everything else will compensate down the chain. So by addressing this one area, it's going to create a positive ripple effect throughout your whole body. If that upper cervical is stiff, it's going to compromise your rotation. Obviously, people are turning and getting the club back, but it provides a layer. It provides a layer of compensation. It's like you're putting an extra hazard on the fairway that doesn't need to be there. So all of the things that you're doing here with correcting your posture is you're eliminating unnecessary hazards to your biomechanics. Just like if you had the choice of moving a bunker in an advantageous position so you could actually hit the ball and make the fairway and get it on the greens. This is the opportunity that you have when you're correcting your posture. You're literally sliding hazards all out of the way. So I want you to think about these corrections in this manner. Next is the rib cage and thoracic spine. Now we're getting into your ability to turn and utilize your powerhouse. Remember, your rib cage is intimately connected to your core. So if your ribs are stiff and if your thoracic spine is kyphotic, that will limit your ability to make a backswing and shoulder turn, and obviously it's going to limit your ability to release the club. If the spine is in a biomechanical position, you now are in a conflict of interest in that your brain is thinking, do I swing this golf club or do I protect my vertebrae and my spinal cord from getting injured from all of the forces that are being generated? Consider that there's been cadaver studies that show that the forces that are generated while swinging the golf club are strong enough to fracture a human vertebrae. This is a naked spine, obviously, but if the spine is in a inadvantageous position, the muscles can't work. So essentially, you're partially swinging with a naked spine. You're swinging in a vulnerable state. So the point is, when you're out of posture, the muscles can't do their job to support the spine. Therefore, the conflict of interest comes in, and there's your extra hazard added to the game. So this is where it starts to create a ripple effect. Then, if your forward head posture, with forward head posture comes forward shoulders. With forward shoulders comes that kyphosis. With the kyphosis comes a restricted backswing or a obscure or hindered backswing. Because remember, in order to have an effective backswing, a really clean, smooth, powerful, there has to be a certain level of extension in your thoracic spine. To the degree that you cannot extend your thoracic spine, there's a conflict of interest and the hazards come into play. And you then create an obstacle to your performance. So addressing this is huge. Then, when you have a kyphosis, remember the spine it's all connected. It works on, I'm going to speak a little geeky here. It works on what we call a Lovett brother reactive system. All the vertebrae are connected, and the top one end of the tail of the spine, it communicates with the lower end. So when you have forward head posture, that's going to affect the lumbar spine. And typically when you have a kyphosis, that will affect your lumbar spine, because in order for you to set your lower back and keep your lower back in good position, there has to be a certain level of thoracic extension. Remember, if you haven't read my 3 Amigos of Posture article, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the High Performance Golf newsletter, where you can get the written articles of the videos that are here on this channel. But the 3 Amigos of Posture are your head, rib cage, and pelvis. The essence of good posture is being able to navigate the positioning of those 3 Amigos. But those 3 Amigos are connected through your spine. So if you have kyphosis, you're already compromised from the 2 Amigos. Then trying to navigate the golf swing when you have limited control of your lower back, this is how you get back injuries. This is why 50% or more of golfers are playing with back pain. So by controlling the 3 Amigos, by understanding how the rib cage and thoracic spine control the low back, you're in a whole you have all of these options, and you have all this opportunity to improve. This is without doing a bunch of crazy workouts. This is without doing a bunch of excess other stuff. This is how you create big bang results in the improvement of your golf swing. This is my whole system. I understand that we love golf, and some people don't like to be in the gym for hours on end. So my role is to show you how to apply the right thing at the right time so you can get the most bang for your buck. And should you want to train more and spend more time in the gym, I'm a I'm a physical culture guy, so I don't mind being in the gym, but some people don't. But you need to be there if you want to play your best golf. It's just like if you drive a Formula One car, and if you're that car needs to go back into the shop and get tuned up every time it goes on the track. Just like with golf. Golf is a repetitive sport. It's the same motions over and over again. So with that, you develop side specific muscle imbalances, and over time the frame does get out of alignment. So there has to be maintenance, there has to be postural maintenance work, there has to be corrective exercises done, there has to be corrective stretches to maintain integrity in the frame. Otherwise you back yourself into a corner in terms of what your structure can do at the highest level. And then once you have control over your head, your rib cage, low back, and pelvis, now it's time to make the symphony play together harmoniously as a full, integrated, powerful, consistent swing. So this is where all of these skills stack on top of each other, and this is why they are presented as such, and this is why I'm going to be teaching it to you as such. So there's very much a structural component to this, but there's also a neurological component to it. And when you combine the two, it turns you into a whole different beast. And that is what we're going to be covering in this golf posture series. So with this introductory lesson, it's helping you approach this series with the right mindset and understanding how important this is. Remember, 80% of golf ball flight factors and ball control factors are dependent on balance and stability, both static and dynamic. In other words, what sets the tone for you to have balance is proper posture, proper resting biomechanics. This is how you prevent injury. This is how you fix old injuries. And this is how you maintain a consistent golf swing. That's all for today. If you have not done so already, please like and subscribe. And again, we'll see you in the next series. Take care and have a good one.